Reading Pioneers is proud to present the month of Christmas, days 6 to 10. Day 8, Thinking Games. On day 8, the elves play thinking games. There are so many. I have to really think to remember them all. Here are the ones I can remember. One such game is Memory. There are versions known from Japan in the 16th century, matching pictures painted on shells. It was known as awase or kai awase. In 1959, the card version of the game, also known as pairs or pelmanism, was published. Pictionary is played by all the elves. One elf starts to draw a picture, and the others must guess what is being drawn. Pictionary was first created by Robert Angel and his friends in 1981. Pictionary is a mix of the games Pictionary and Memory. You match cards, like in Memory, to reveal parts of a picture. Then you guess what the picture is, like in Pictionary. There was also a TV game show called Concentration that used a rebus message as the hidden picture. It began way back in the 1950s and was very popular. The elves play Pictionary for hours and watch the old reruns of the TV game show on Elf TV. A really tricky memory game is Candy Cane Memory. In this game, several candy canes appear and then disappear, and you must remember where they were. Elves usually remember up to 5 candy canes. Jack says he can remember where 11 were. Do you believe him? Sudoku-chan, or Little Sudoku, which has 6 squares, and Sudoku-chanito, or Teeny Sudoku, which has 4 squares, are variations of Sudoku that has 9 squares. The Sugar Plum Fairies saw Sudoku in their travels and told Santa. He told the elves, and they modified the game. Did you know Sudoku began in 1783 when Leonard Euler, a Swiss mathematician, devised Latin squares? It changed over time and became the 9-square game in 1979 and was first called Number Place. When it arrived in Japan in 1984, the Japanese people called it Sudoku. The elves have a special game called Christmas Tree that is like the classic Tower of Hanoi. In Christmas Tree, you must move the parts of the tree from the left spindle to the right spindle without putting a larger part on a smaller part. It is hard. The original game was seen by the fairies way back in 1883 when they came upon French mathematician Edouard Lucas playing it for the first time. Connect 4 is a favorite of Jack Frost. He says he has never been beaten. The game was first sold by Milton Bradley Toy Company in February 1974. Almost 10 years later, in 1983, the Hasbro Toy Company published Jenga. That game is made of wood. The elves play Jenga with ice blocks because they slide easier. A very old game that the elves play is dominoes. The game originated in China in the 12th century. In Europe, some dominoes are made of bone. Most dominoes today are made of plastic. There are many games the elves play on a checkerboard. They even invented some. There is, of course, checkers, or draughts. A board resembling a checkers board was found in Ur, dating from 3000 BC. A variation of checkers is kings. All the checkers are kings. The elves invented that one. The elves also invented just one, in which all checkers are kings, and one player must jump other kings until just one is left. Another elf invented game played on a checkerboard is Switch. One player must move the red checkers from the top to the bottom and the black checkers from the bottom to the top. There is no jumping, and checkers can move like kings do. A very different game played on a checkerboard is chess. Did you know that chess was played way back in the 7th century in Persia? It can be difficult and require lots of thinking. There is a world championship that began in 1886. It takes years of playing and practice to become a chess master. The fairies also saw people playing a game called Go over 2,500 years ago in China. The game of dots is similar to Go. It was first published in the 19th century by French mathematician Edouard Lucas, who called it La Pipo Pipette. Wow, he invented Towers of Hanoi too. The fairies love Chinese checkers, and the elves call it fairy checkers. All 5 fairies play, and one elf tries to beat them. No elf ever has. The game was invented in Germany in 1892, not China, and is a variation of the older American game Halma. The name Chinese checkers was used in a marketing campaign by Bill and Jack Pressman in 1928 to sell more games by giving the game an exotic allure. The elves also love Copycat. They use up to 8 fairy cards and lay them on the table. One elf touches 3 cards and says beep or boop on each touch. Elves love to say beep and boop. I don't understand why. Do you? Then another elf must touch the same cards in order and say the right beep or boop for each. If the second elf is right, he or she touches 4 cards and beeps or boops for each. The elves take turns, increasing the number of cards touched and boops until both make a mistake. The elf who remembers the highest number wins. It is hard to remember the order of the colors and the beeps and boops. Jack Frost says he can remember 100 cards and beeps and boops in order. Unless it is cold outside. No elf believes him. It is always cold at the North Pole. Get some cards and play! An electronic game similar to Copycat that people play, Simon, was invented by Ralph H. Baer and Howard J. Morrison and has been available since 1978. Baer is considered the father of video games. In February 2006, he was awarded the National Medal of Technology. Slider puzzles are very tricky. Any elf can solve an 8-number puzzle, and most elves can solve a 15-number puzzle. Only a few can solve a 25-level or more puzzle. The slider puzzle was invented by Noyes Chapman in 1880. A variation called Klotsky or Pennant was developed in 1909 in Chicago. Elf Slider is a rotating slider puzzle. It is really tricky. You must rotate numbers to put them back in order. I'm not sure this is even possible. Tic-tac-toe is an ancient game the elves play. The game first appeared around 1300 BC in ancient Egypt. Tic-tac-toe, like game boards, have been found on roofing tiles dating from that period. Rock, paper, scissors dates back to 200 BC in China. It was first mentioned in the book Wuzazu. Well, that is day 8. The elves play games and work puzzles on any night, not just on days 6, 7, and 8. You can too! Activities. Click on Activities to play some thinking games. Maybe there are some there I forgot to mention.
Happy Holidays from Reading Pioneers. This video is part of The Month of Christmas, a book series by Sea Mice, who asked me to read the entire series on this YouTube channel. While this is only one part of the book, you can find out what happens next by subscribing and staying tuned until December 25th, which is when I will finish with the entire book series. That's right. Every day for the next 4 weeks, I will be uploading a story about Christmas. The best part is, this series can be found on Barnes & Noble, Apple Books, and many other platforms for free. Yes, free! Links are available in the description box below so you can grab a copy of this part and all of the others right now. Also, please support the channel by liking the video and sharing it with your friends and family. If you have a book you'd like to be read on this channel, please send me an email, contact@readingpioneers.com, so we can turn it into the next video. Unfortunately, this is it for today. I can't wait to show you the next part of the series, so stay tuned, and thanks again, readers, for joining us today. Until next time, I hope you all have an amazing day. Bye-bye!